Good morning. So we are doing the Bhagavad Gita, and today is a very interesting chapter that we are starting. It's a new chapter, chapter 8. Now in chapter 8, Sri Krishna has to give the meanings of the spiritual terminologies that we have been using consistently. So the question which is raised by Arjuna, since I am doing Uddhava Gita otherwise, so here Uddhava also came. But both are more or less the same. It's the same question which every human being has. You can take from the smallest to the biggest person, whoever. Person may be an elderly person, and yet the meanings of those spiritual terms is never understood by people. So in this chapter, Sri Krishna is going to explain to Arjuna the meanings of those words. So let us see. We are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 1. Arjuna said, Krishna, what is this Brahma? Every time you have heard this word Brahma, the absolute Brahma. What is Adhyatma? Adhyatma means the spirit, the spiritual. What is Karma? Which means the action. What is called as Adibhuta? Which means the matter. What is termed as Adidaiva? Which means the divine intelligence. So this is a very lengthy question, though it appears like, can you please tell me what is the meaning of these words? No. There is a very deep-rooted significance for this. We have to know these terms very well. Because if I do not understand, then how will I tell? In verse 2 he asks, Krishna, who is Adi Yagya? Here, and how does he dwell in the body? When we say God dwells in the body, who is this Adi Yagya, this God who dwells in the body? And how are you to be realized at the time of death by those with a steadfast mind? How can you, Krishna, you be realized, that means God realization, at the time of death? So, these are extremely important questions which you may also have. See, in our material world, the questions which normally come up are these. Who is God? Where does he live? How do I find him? What is this world? Who is the creator of this world? Every time I hear that there is a creator of this world, who is this creator of this world? Why do you say that there are only these 5 elements? See, when I take earth, there are so many elements in this, but you keep on saying that there are only 5 elements. What are these 5 elements? What are these things which we say as senses, mind? Most important is mind. What is this mind? I don't understand. So according to your spiritual world, can you please tell me, what do you mean by these words? And when every time when you say that God is in you, God is in you, God is in, I keep on listening to this, God is in me, and yet I do not understand it at all. Because if God was in me, I should be doing miracles, So this is the way when everybody looks at it. Whether it is a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or any other denomination, everybody wants to know this same question. These questions are very common. And Arjuna is also asking this question. So, if you say that I have to meet God, who is this God? And what is this differentiation between somebody doing bad and somebody doing good, somebody goes to heaven, somebody goes to hell? This is something very strange. Why should a person go to heaven, hell? Why should I do all these things? I don't think I am anything. Once I am dead, I am dead. So, aren't these the questions that dog you every now and then? These are every individual's questions. And we all need answers. Everybody in this world needs answers. So now let us move to verse 3 and let us see what Krishna has to say. Sri Bhagavan said, the supreme imperishable Brahma, one's own self, the individual soul, is called Adhyatma. And the primal resolve of God, which is called Visarga, which brings forth the existence of being, is called karma or action. Now this verse itself is a loaded verse. Loaded with so much meanings that if I have to just keep on giving you answers, if I have to just explain this verse to you, my entire life will be over. This is such a loaded answer. So let me explain to you as much as you can understand a little bit that is there. Sri Bhagavan said, the supreme imperishable is Brahma. So when a question is asked, who is Brahma? Every time you keep on saying Brahma, 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 Brahma. What is this Brahma? I would like to know what this Brahma is. Because everybody says Brahmanyani, Brahma this, Brahma that. What is this Brahma? Is it God or what exactly is it? Well, the term itself will tell you imperishable Brahma. What does this imperishable mean? Anything that you have in this world, let us say for example, if I take the earth itself, the earth has finite life. It is going to get destroyed. If I take the sun, that also is going to get destroyed one day. It will become a dead star, isn't it? You know that. If I take water, one day there will be no water left at all. Water itself will dissolve. If I take air, it will become vacuum. Did you understand? Whatever you think exists for a long period of time or is like an imperishable thing, it gets destroyed. It is nothing. Nothing is actually going to remain. You will say there are gods, God is there, God. What God are you talking about? So you will say there is a trinity of gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. No, they also are going to get destroyed. Brahmaji gets destroyed, Vishnu gets destroyed, even Rudra gets destroyed, Maheshwara. None of these gods remain because they are all creations of the power of the divine, Maya. And they all fall in a category of three, which is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. You will find that the Sattvic God, that is a God who is full of Sattva, is Vishnu. The God who is full of Rajas is Brahma. The God who is Tamasic is Maheshwara. These are the three entities. They are not together everything. Like Maheshwara cannot be the producer of anything. No, he cannot. Only Brahmaji can produce. If Brahmaji can produce, he is a creator. He cannot destroy. Sustenance is with another God, Vishnu. So they are not the ultimate. And Brahma is nothing to do with them. They are all going to get dissolved in the Brahma. Every God gets dissolved in the Brahma only. So they are also perishable. So whether you take this world, whether you take your own body, Whether you take anything in this world, there is impermanence. It is not permanent at all. Everything gets destroyed. When the certain people, the sages and the saints or some gods are there, they are told you have eternity, life up to eternity. It is not there. Hanumanji, Narada, Ashwathama, right? You know all these people, isn't it? They are supposed to be literally like a permanent fixture. No, I'm sorry, they also have to go away. So, the supreme imperishable is Brahma. The thing which is finally going to get destroyed is not Brahma at all. The one which remains even after the whole thing gets destroyed. When everything goes back, all these universes, all these worlds, our world, water, this, that, everything gets completely annihilated. They go back. Where they go back? No idea. But they all are in what is called as the imperishable Brahma. That is the ultimate, the final. So I hope you understood this. Everything gets destroyed except Brahma. Brahma is beyond the three gods also, beyond the three gunas also. It remains even after everything gets destroyed. That is why it is called the imperishable Brahma. Now the gods, which I described just now, or you take any other, that is the world, the earth, the oceans, the seas, the air, the water, everything that is there finally is destroyed. But everything is contaminated. Contaminated and very finite. It has got a small life. And it can be modified also. Modifications happen. From one to another, to another, to another, they can modify. But they do not remain. No, they don't remain at all. They all are destroyed. That is Brahma. One's own self is called the Adhyatma. When everybody thinks that they are spiritual, people say, I am spiritual. What they fail to understand, spirituality has nothing to do with the body. This body. If you are going to do anything with the body, like go and pray to God. God, please help me. God, do this for me. God, do that for me. Or you say Om Namah Shivaya or Om or whatever. All these things are connected to the body. Are you saying it with your mouth? Yes. Are you saying it with your mind? Yes. All that is not Adhyatma at all. Adhyatma means, who are you? Who are you? Are you the body? No. You are not the body at all. You are neither the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the hands, the legs, nothing. You are not even the brain. You seem to have a brain, no? Some of you have brains. Most of them don't. So, those who have brains, you may think, oh, I have a brain. No, that is also perishable. It's also going to go away. What is going to remain? That which is in you, which remains, is the spirit. What remains? Spirit. Spirit only. Spirit remains in you. So the supreme imperishable thing is Brahma, one's own self. That is called Adhyatma. The thing that remains in you, which is not you, which is not this body, is not you. Remember this. The body is not you. That imperishable spirit or soul, as we call. Some people call it soul. Some people call it the spirit soul. Some people call it spirit. Don't bother about it so much. It is for understanding purpose. It's a mixture of terminologies. People mix one with the other. It's all right. It's absolutely perfect. Some people will call it soul, some people will call it spirit, or whatever they want to. Really doesn't matter. Let us call it the spirit soul. You are only a spirit soul. This body which is yours, this body is yours. But in the previous life, you might have been an elephant. So are you an elephant just now? No. Prior to that body, you might have been a dog. So do you call yourself a dog? No. You call yourself a human being just now. In your next life, the coming life, you may become a caterpillar. A butterfly maybe. So you can be a butterfly. So as a butterfly, do you think this body is yours? No, this body is anyway going to go to earth. So who goes from body to body to body to body to body? Did you get it? So you are not the body. Forget this term that you are the body. You travel from one body to another. You keep on taking one body to another. It is like your water. Sometimes you get filled in some soft drink bottle. Sometimes you get filled in some water bottle. Sometimes you get filled in some mug. Sometimes you get filled in a jar. Sometimes you get filled in a lake. Sometimes you get filled in the ocean. So what are you? You are just water, aren't you? So that term, you are the supreme self, the self. Who is this? Who are you? The question has to be always asked. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? That answer which comes. You are not the body. That term is called Adhyatma, the study of the spirit. You are the spirit inside. And the study of that spirit is called spirituality. So please do not mistake this word, the word spirituality, as something connected to your body. Your body is anyway going to go. So tomorrow when you become a butterfly, how can you be preserving, thinking about that body of yours, your last body as a human being? Correct? You are a butterfly now. After butterfly, you may become an ant. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just giving an example. So did you understand this? The understanding has to be that I am not the body. Got it? This study of the term is called Adhyatma, spirituality. When somebody says, I am spiritual, he is talking about the self, the real one inside of him. I am spiritual means I am not the body, I am the one inside. The God inside. Got it? The primal resolve of God, Visarga, which brings forth the existence of being, is called karma or action. This is a very interesting term. Karma is a very, very interesting terminology. People have never understood what this term means. Based on your actions, you get bodies. What did I say? Based on your actions, whatever action that you do in this world, all those actions will help you get another body. Because at the end of the day, you still have to repay back. See the terms. You get the body to repay back. Whatever you have taken, you have to repay it back, isn't it? Like if I take a loan from a bank, I have to repay it. See, when I want to build a house, I want to take some car or something, I go to the bank and I take money from them and I say, please give me some money. So they will give you a loan. Are you not paying them back little as an EMI or something like that? If you take a loan from your friend, are you not supposed to pay that back? Yes. If you take anything from anybody, in olden times, my neighbors will come with one small katori, one small vessel, and they will say, "Can you give me a katori of oil? Can you give me some curd? Can you give me some, milk?" Earlier we had this kind of a thing. Nowadays, you don't even know the neighbors. It's a very funny thing which has happened. You don't even know who your next door neighbor is. And I'm not joking. In olden societies, you knew everybody in the village, everybody next to you. Your whole building was known to you. Anything that happened in your house, the whole world knew about it. Somebody will, come inside your house and say, "Oh, I can smell this happening. Did you make bhajiyas? I get nice smell." People were doing that. Today's day and age, nobody knows who is doing what. You only see the Swiggy or the Zomato fellow outside, okay? That is the only thing that you see. Maybe if you look out from the window. Even that, the windows will be closed in your case and you will be lost in two things. Every human being today is lost in two things. One is the TV and the second one is the phone. Nobody seems to get out of these two things nowadays. So engrossed. TV, phone, computer, that's it. Nobody is there who is lost in any other thing except this. So let us come back to our story once again. So Krishna says to Arjuna, this distribution that is going to happen. What distribution? So depending on the body that you want. How does this body come about? Whatever things that you do, whatever actions you have done in your previous life will get you that body. So if you do certain actions, now let us say you are fighting a war. Let us say you are a war veteran. You are from the World War II, okay? And you were with certain army and you are taking a gun, you're going all over the front. So what is the next life that you will get? You might have killed about 50 people. Oh, I'm just taking a big figure, okay? Now, you killed that person in your last life, isn't it? What is the repayment? Remember the term which I said, if you take anything from the bank, you have to repay it back. If you take a loan from your friend, you have to repay it back. Anything in this world that is there has to get repaid. And the equation has to be equalized on right hand side and left hand side. Both these have to be equal because you cannot have imbalance in this world. Did you get the point? There should be no imbalance. And that is why to balance, this is the new thing that is there, which is called the primal resolve of God. God has this resolve. What He has done at the beginning of time when the whole thing was created, the framework was already written. Let us say you are starting a bank. Are you not going to write your terms and conditions before you start? If you are starting a lending institution, let us say you are giving loans to people, are you not going to put your terms and conditions right in the beginning? If you go to school, you are sending your children to school, let us say, doesn't the school have terms and conditions, how you have to pay the fees, what you have to do, when you have to come, which day is a holiday, what clothes to wear? Doesn't the school have their own rules and regulations? Any place you go, you join a company, there also they have rules and regulations. You are born in a country. Now suppose you are born in, say, India. Aren't there rules and regulations? See? Now, these are very great terms. So, the resolve. At the beginning of time, Krishna has already written all these things. This framework of those terms and conditions is this thing, the primal resolve of God, which bring forth the existence of beings, is called karma or action. what is going to happen next, how things are going to culminate into, how things are going to get repaid. What is it that you are going to do? All this is nothing but action. This is called karma. Did you get it? Now let us say, think. Today you are sitting in an age of pandemic where everybody is supposed to be there at home. We are confined to our houses. Do you know the funniest part in all this? And how this whole world works it's an extremely funny way of looking at it. Think how this whole world is today. The whole world said, uncover your face so that when you pass through the customs, you pass through anything, or you come to school, you cannot cover your face. Every country, the Western countries, everybody said, you cannot wear a burqa. Pandemic has said, wear a burqa. How funny is that? Doesn't it tell you something? Everybody has to cover their nose and their mouth. What do you get to see? Only the eyes. That's it. This is the ironical thing that has happened. Today we are sitting where only this much is covered. Okay, think. Tomorrow what is going to happen? You know the whole world, the entire world is pumping all these gases. You go to Delhi, the place is just dense cloud. You go to all these big cities, you go to Bangkok, you go to any country, there's so much of pollution. You go to the interiors of India, they're so dirty you cannot even imagine. The air is not breathable. I was driving down from a place, North Karnataka. And believe me, I never keep my windows open of my car. The whole area, it must be about 8 to 10 square kilometers of area, was filled with so much of dust and smoke. Why? Because there was a steel mill over there spewing out such dirty smoke. Nobody cares. So what is the future going to be like? We won't have clean air. What are you going to be living in? You are going to be living in a pod. You understand? A suit. Like they have the space suit. So tomorrow future is this. Because there is no clean air, you will be living in a suit. And here the irony is this. So now think about it. If you have gone and spoiled the air, the reason is that you have to wear a suit and stay. Or otherwise go to another planet. Like Mr. Elon Musk says, go to Mars and stay over there. Go to Mars. So this action, reaction is nothing but karma. What you sow is what you will reap. So whatever you have sown, that you got to reap. I said only about money. Let us say you are a person, you have a child, you have a small child. And because the child is not studying, in India we take one tight slap we give. Parents don't care. If this was America, they will not do. Then you will have the child care people coming and sitting on top of your head. But think, in India we don't look left, right, center. We just give one tight slap and we say, hey, go do those studies, do this, do that. Well, you have done that. How do you repay it back? The child has to repay it back to you. You slapped the child, isn't it? So what is the repayment? The repayment is not something else. Please understand. I cannot say that the person is going to take money for it. No, nothing like that. The repayment is equally. Same thing. So the child will slap you back. Can he slap you back in this life? No. Children will not slap their fathers. No. So then which life of yours? Some other life. So I was telling you, if you are in that world war and you have shot 50 people, 50, what life are you going to get this time? The next time that you come back on earth? You will have to face one of your persons. Out of those 50, one person you will have to face. Because 50 people cannot be there simultaneously. They cannot kill you. You can only die once, isn't it? So one of them will be there and he may shoot you. So how many times have you sanctioned yourself to be shot? 50 times. So if you have slapped somebody once, the one slap has to be given back. But it never happens like that. Doesn't happen like that. You know why? Have you seen the fights on the roadsides? Especially in all these cities and all, somebody is going to scratch somebody's car and that person will stand in the middle of the road. They'll do all kinds of fighting. Suppose that fellow is giving you 4 type, box, big things. Do you think you will stop at that? You will want to beat him at least 10 times. Right? So you think this child who has got one slap is going to return your one slap to you? No. He's going to return you 10 slaps. So now there is an imbalance. 9 extra. Correct? When is it going to get repaid? So then next life of yours you have to meet the same person again. Let us say you have your husband and wife, you are a couple. And there is a constant bickering going on, all the time. And you go for a divorce. When you go for a divorce, you think the story is the end. I am finished with this person. No. You are going to meet that person in some other life of yours. Same person is going to come to you. Because whatever you have given to that person, that you have to take it back, isn't it? Whether you have tortured that person or whether you have done something good also to the person. You think only bad things have to be repaid? No. Even the good has to be repaid. Think. If Bill Gates tomorrow is giving $1 million or $1 billion to someone, see, let us say Mr. Bill Gates or some other great philanthropist is giving $1 million or billions of dollars to some country, Uganda or some such kind of a country, I don't know, whoever they are giving. If they are giving to those countries, all those people who are getting benefited from this one person, don't you think those people have to repay him back? That is that thing called karma. Repayment. Action, reaction. Missy, understood this? Huh? So here he is talking about what is it that you have to repay, for which the visarga is there, for which these multiple bodies are taken. You see, you go to the market, you are having a potload of money, you carry a lot of change with you. Nobody likes to keep those 10 rupee coins. They are very heavy. You know that, no? If at the toll naka or some place you have got that 10 rupee coin, you just want to palm it off to somebody, or some torn note or something. This is a very common thing that Indians do. If it is a torn note, it has to be given to somebody else. If it is a brand new note, you keep it, preserve it to eternity. So you have these coins which, they weigh in your pocket, or you have these torn notes. So what you do is you go out, and you see some bhikari, some beggar on the road, And oh, this fellow should be given 10 rupees. So you go and give 10 rupees. Then you give another 10 rupees to somebody. Then you give another 10 rupees to somebody. Then you give another 10. As per the law of karma, I want you to think. You have given him 10 rupees, correct? What is the repayment here? The repayment is that fellow has to give you your 10 rupees back. Can he repay you now? No way. Because he is a beggar, he is asking for money. Can you please give me some money? So now that you have paid him the money, even the good deed has to be repaid back. So some life of yours, that man has to pay you money. This is the very complex state. See, I have just touched the surface of the word karma. Please understand the value of karma, the way the story of karma is a massive, huge thing. I cannot explain to you so much. I can only explain some little things to you. That's it. So did you get this whole thing? Karma means that the gods resolve. God, when he made this world, he resolved to write this book of how the different bodies come into existence because of the actions that they do in this world. Right? When you watch these small videos nowadays, all this Facebook, Instagram and all, they are posting these videos, isn't it? And in that you see one eagle comes and catches one rat and goes away into the air, and you feel so sorry for that rat, poor thing. Or you see one tiger or one animal killing another animal, you feel bad for it, isn't it? Now think about it. Even that animal which got killed, that animal has to pay back. He's not paid back. Now do you get the point? That animal has to become that animal, and then the reverse has to happen and repayment has to happen. Karma. Got it? The bodies that you get because of the actions that you perform. So now we move to verse number 4. We are doing the Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 4. All perishable objects are Adi Bhuta. The shining Purusha, Brahma, is Adi Deva. And in this body, I myself, dwelling as the inner witness, am the Adi Yagya, O Arjuna. So the next terms are being explained. All perishable objects are Adi Bhuta. Remember when we started, I said the Bhutas, elements. The question was, why do we have only 5 elements? You will say, elements? Sir, chemistry teaches us that I have so many of those, elements. Right from hydrogen, helium, this, that, till the... And they keep on growing. And yet you are saying that there are only 5 elements? They are the basic 5 things. Everybody is made up of those 5 things, okay? They are basic. I cannot say you are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and all that. Oh, no. We are not going to go into that. I'm not even going to say you have phosphate bonds, and there is a DNA molecule, there's an RNA. Do you think I'm going to talk that? No. On the contrary, I will just generalize it into 5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In these 5 terms are very simple. Earth, water, fire, air and space. That's it. You are made up of 5 things. General terms. So, all perishable objects are Adibhuta. So, I take anything on this planet Earth, anything in the solar system, anything in this universe, right from the furthest body to the smallest creature on Earth. The tiniest, very tiny bacteria, viruses, even the smallest of the smallest. all these things are perishable. They are going to get destroyed. Nothing is going to remain. Anything that is destructible, anything that gets destroyed is called Adi Bhuta. Bhuta. Bhuta means the elements. Got it? Anything that is made in this world, created from these 5 elements, they're all going to perish. What else is there outside? So you will say, Guruji, space is there. Space is not going to get destroyed. Is that so? Do you know there is a space? So you will say, yeah, there is a sky, there is a earth, there is the sky I can see. Yesterday I was giving the same explanation. I will give you today also. What sky are you talking about? Suppose you are somewhere in the middle of Earth and Saturn and Earth and Jupiter or something like that. How small is the Earth to your eyes now? One small dot. This dot of this pencil. Dot somewhere, dot. Do you see the sky there? No. You go outside our solar system. Do you see any sky anywhere? No. What is there then? Space, the final frontier. What space? There is nothing there. You are trying to find something there. It's all dark color. What is there? Space also is not there. Why? Because space is defined by the objects in it. Can you understand what I'm saying? If there are objects, dot, then you say there is space. But if I wipe all those objects, what space are you talking about? Now do you understand why they have those telescopes in a very dark location where there are no city lights? They will put it in some God-forsaken place somewhere. Why the God-forsaken place over there? Is because then they can look into the sky. Otherwise, all the reflected light from the earth is going to get caught in that. Got it? Now think about it. If I wipe the whole space out clean, I'll wipe it clean. Where is the space then? And that is where the 5th terminology called space doesn't exist. You think it exists. It is you think, that is why it is there. Otherwise, who cares whether it is there or not there? They say that space is there and space is removed, ether remains. Okay? Ether remains. So ether also gets destroyed. So when I remove all these things, what remains? Alright? So now did you get it? So even the 5 elements are destroyed. There's nothing remaining. That is why that term is called Adi Bhuta. The shining Purusha is Adi Daiva. Adi Daiva. Shining Purusha. What shining Purusha is there? See, now did you understand Adi Bhuta? Adi Daiva. See, I have to give some explanation which is understood by people. Sometimes the explanations are vague, sometimes the explanations can go home directly. Sometimes you have to keep on thinking, what is he saying? What is he saying? Like the term Brahma is very difficult to understand. Remember that the term Brahma is, what Brahma you are talking about? I don't understand. This is how you will talk. Why? Because that is very difficult to understand. Now did you get the whole thing? That shining Purusha is the Brahma. The one which we are going to discuss. That is Adi Daiva. The supposed godliness in you. Can you see the godliness in you? Is a which angle? कौन से angle से दिखता है? या आदमी में भगवान है. So, did you get it? From which angle do you see God in this fellow? You can't see. So that thing, that shining one inside of every person is the Adidaiva. And in this body, I myself dwell as the inner witness, am Adiyagya, O Arjuna. In my last week's entire week satsang and the week before that, I did this terminology called the witness state. The witness state is the one who just watches. In olden times, there was one movie, it was called Sholay. And I had to explain to somebody, what is this witness? So, if you remember a scene, those who understand and those who have seen Sholay, they will remember a scene. You see, what this Jai and Viru, that is Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra, they are standing over there. And next to him, next to those two guys, there is another person standing over there. His name is Thakur Sahab. That is Sanjeev Kumar. There is a gun lying next to him. What is lying next to this person? The gun is lying next to him. And these two guys are thinking that this Thakur Sahab will pick up the gun and will shoot the enemy. The enemy is Gabbar Singh. That fellow is doing all kinds of nonsense over there. And they are looking at him and he is not even moving from there. Who? Thakur Sahab. Sanjeev Kumar is not even moving from there. He is looking at the gun but he is not moving. He doesn't do anything. So after the villain goes away from the scene, these two get up angrily and they ask him, when there was a gun lying next to you, why didn't you pick it up? He just looks at them. And he had covered himself with a shawl. And the shawl drops. He doesn't have hands. Did you understand this? So this Thakur Sahab was only a witness to the whole thing. Got the answer? The witness is one who only watches but doesn't do anything. Please remember this. Inside of everybody, whoever is watching this satsang, whoever is listening to this satsang, there is a state of being inside of you, and that state of being is called the witness state. The God inside of you just watches. He doesn't do anything. I will give you now examples about your own life. Now, let us say you love some very good stuff. You are going in the marketplace and you get nice smell of mangoes. Nice Alfonso mangoes. You know very well you love Alfonso mangoes. Are you going to go and buy them? Yes. Who is the one who tells you now you will go and buy this? There is somebody inside of you who says, now I know that this man is going to go and buy those mangoes. Did you understand? Let me give you another example. This is slightly tedious, but let us see. You see, there is a very beautiful woman walking from the side. She is wearing a red colored dress and she is really very beautiful. Whether you like it or not, all males are going to watch, isn't it? They will look at her like this, up and down they will look at her. Isn't that what they will do? Or, now this is the one which I saw recently on one small video. There are two girls going up an escalator. And from behind them comes a nice hunk. A young man who has got nice muscles and very handsome dude like Hrithik Roshan. So he walks through them and goes up. Those girls go like this. Now, do you know that you will do this action? Do you know it, isn't it? The one who knows that this action is going to get performed is called the witness, not the one who is doing it. You know very well that that girl is going to attract you, that boy is going to, you're going to look at that person. Why? Your nose gets attracted towards smells. You know it very well. Don't you know when you're going to get angry or upset? You can actually feel the anger rising inside of you when somebody does something. You know your downline. You know, if you have suppose you have a subordinate and the subordinate overrides you and goes to your boss. You know very well that your tempers are going to rise. Who do you think you are that you can go over me and talk to my boss? That's what you'll do. You know very well how to irritate people. See, these are our tendencies. Doesn't the one inside of you who watches you know this, that these tendencies are going to come into play? So the one who is the watcher, देखते रहता है. This one is called the inner witness. He watches you constantly. So Krishna says, Krishna, and in this body, I myself, Krishna says, I am the dweller in your body. I am the one who watches you through your eyes only. And I know what you are thinking. I know what you are doing. So every action that you are doing is watched by me. You see? Right? They do it in the movies, isn't it? I'm watching you. So this person who is watching actually doesn't do anything. The one who is the witness only witnesses it. Now let us come to a point where people say, so many bad things are happening to me. God doesn't do anything. My mother got killed. My father got killed. I became an orphan. There is no God in this world. God watches. God doesn't do. Did you understand this? He is only a witness. I want you to think very carefully. Think. When Jesus Christ was going on the cross, they were nailing him to the cross. Was his Father in heaven just watching? Yes. When Jesus died on the cross, the Father in heaven watched. That is the state of Krishna. He is only a witness. Who does these actions? Do you think God does these actions? No. You are forgetting the previous line then. And the primal resolve of God, Visarga, which brings forth the existence of being, is called karma or action. You yourself are responsible for your own actions. So whether you are dying, you are taking birth, you are doing some action, is only in your hands, not some God's hands. No. He is only the primal resolve. He has written the book of karma. You are following it. Nobody else. Nobody else. So then never say these words that God is the one who is the doer. God killed my husband. God killed this. God did this bad. He made me poor. He made me lose the money. Why should God be responsible for it? It is you and your karma that is making it happen. So don't blame God for anything. If good happens to you, you will say, God, thank you very much. But God has done good not to you. You have done good to yourself. If you are getting money in this life, remember you are getting it because in your past life you have given. Did you get the point? Suppose today Bill Gates will ask, why do I get billions of dollars? Or Elon Musk will say, oh, I am the richest man in the world. Why? Because in the previous lifetimes he must have given. Got it? Could be. So there are these three kinds of karmas. I will not explain them over here. This is not the place. When the karma book comes, no, that time we will explain. What is this Nishkam karma and all, I will explain later. Just now at this point, don't bother. I will do the next verse. It's a small verse. Then we will stop. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 5. He who departs from the body thinking of me alone even at the time of death attains my state. There is no doubt about it. The only reason why everybody says take the name of God, take the name of God while dying, take the name of God while dying, everywhere they say this. Bhagwan ka naam lo, manne ke time pe. Keep on saying the mantra jap that is there, whatever. Shri Ram, 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 Ram. You see, when somebody is dying, the people are standing next to him, they will keep on saying, Father in heaven, this, that, Shri Ram, Krishna, whatever name that, the God that they have to take, they should take and then die. So whatever name that you take and then die, just while leaving the body, you will attain that position. Whichever God that you take, whatever, you may say, I want bhajia, bhajia, bhajia. Sir, next life you will get only bhajia. Whatever thing that you want to do, you may keep on thinking property, property, property. My property, who's going to get it? My property, who's going to... That is what you will become. Okay? In your next life, you have to come back for that purpose only. And if you keep on taking the name of Laila, 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 Majnu, like Laila, Majnu, Laila, 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 next life you will come with Laila only. So whatever last word that you take, you will get it, you will achieve it. So here he says, when you are departing from the body, when you leave the body and you go away, at that time, if you keep on thinking of me, keep on thinking of Krishna only, alone, even at the time of death, when you are thinking only of me, I am the Supreme Parabrahma, please understand this. I am the ultimate. And this chapter, those who are listening to this chapter, if you continue with this chapter, you will know very well what I am going to discuss. Some things which people have never thought of. So if you die and you take the name of Krishna, you will attain him only. So my state, you will attain my state, there is no doubt about it. Krishna says this is ultimate destination that you have. You only take my name, say Krishna, 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 Krishna at the time of death, you will attain me. Remember the story of Narayana, that man who kept on saying, calls out to his son, Narayan, Narayan, please come. Who comes? Narayan, the God comes and takes him to his abode. That story is very well known. So let us end over here. So while taking the name of Krishna, if you die, you will attain him only. So we have come to the end of verse 5 from chapter 8. Next time we will do verse 6 onwards. So take care, have a great day, and I will see you all in the evening for the last both. Bye.